Hello friends, welcome to my channel. For new, you're welcome. I'm Miss Ansafon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload new tutorials on my channel. If you're a member, you're welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to cut this elastic band short step by step. So if you want to know how I do this, keep on watching. First thing I'm going to start by is by folding my fabric facing right side, facing each other. The next thing I'll do is to go ahead and draw a straight line. That straight line is my guideline, okay? Once I'm done drawing the straight line, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my round my hip measurement, which is 36 inch. 36 inch, I'm going to divide it by 4. So I'm going to fold my tape like this, which 36 divided by 2 will give me 18. Then I'll take that 18 again and divide it by 2, which will give me 9 inch. From that 9 inch to get the hip deep line, I'll go ahead and minus 1.5 inch. From there, I'll be left with 7.5. I will mark it up, okay? Once I'm done marking it up, I'll just go ahead to connect it with a straight line. Then the next measurement I'm going to be putting in here will be my crush deep measurement. Remember the hip deep, that's the 36 that we divided into 4 gave us 9. Then I'll go ahead, I'm adding 1 inch to it. Altogether is 10 inch for my crush deep measurement, okay? Then I'll go ahead and connect it up with a straight line. Once I'm done connecting up with a straight line, the next thing I'll do now is to go ahead to put in my length. But the length, because I'm going to be using an elastic band. Now to put the length of the short, I will minus 1.5 inch because I'm going to be using a band of 1.5 inch, okay? Except you want it to be much longer, all right? Then I'll just go ahead and connect it with a straight line. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my 1/4 of my hip measurement, okay? Because here we're not going to be using the waist measurement for now. So around my hip is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inch. I'll mark it up. Then I'll go ahead now to add 1.5 inch to it because I want it to be free. Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead to connect it with a straight line. Now the next thing I will do now is to get the crush extension. What I'm going to do is that 9 inch, the 9 inch that we had from 1/4 of the hip, I'll divide it by 4. So 9 inch divided by 4 will give me 2.025. I will extend it here for the crush extension. Then once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'll do now is to come here. I'll go down by 3/4 inch. Then I'll go in by 1/2 inch. Now I'll come here. I'm going to connect that line here on the crush deep line, not on the hip deep line, okay? Mark it up on the crush deep line. Now I'll go up here by 2.5 inch. Right here and mark it up. Then I'm going to take my French curve, connect it up like this. Once I'm done connecting it up, I'm going to connect this point from here to here like so. Okay? Then I'm going to connect this point from here to here, to the hip, to the side seams like so. All right? Now, I will come here, measure whatever I have from there, which is 13. I'll minus 1 inch from there, which I'm going to be left with 12 inch. I will take my pan curve ruler. I'm going to place it up like this and I connect it. Once I'm done connecting it up, I'll go ahead to cut that up. Then after cutting this up, I'll still fold in my fabric into 2 again. That's right side facing each other. I'll place the front piece on top. We'll be using it to cut the back piece. Once I'm done placing it on another piece, I'll make sure I have 2 inch here at this top part, okay? Now, the next thing I'll do now is to go ahead and extend 1.5 inch from here. All right, 1.5 inch right here. And I'm going to extend it up here as well, 1.5 inch. I'll do the same thing here, connect my 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing here at this downer part as well. After doing so, I'll just go ahead now to connect it up. You see what I just did? You can use your free hand or you can use the French scarf roller. Now at the down this part here, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. Remember for the front, we just slant it down by 3/4 inch. But for the back, we're going to go up. You can go up to 2 inch depending on how booty you are, right? Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead to connect this point like so. Then we'll go ahead now to cut that up. Okay, once I'm done cutting it, I'll separate it up. Now we're going to go ahead to cut up the pocket. To cut the pocket, what you're going to do is you're going to come here like this, measure 6 or 7 inch downward, okay? Me, I'm going to go with 6 inch. Then I'll go in by 2 inch like this. Then I'm going to connect it up from here to here like this. Therefore, from the 2 inch to the 6 inch, which will go inward like this, all right? Once we're done connecting that, we'll go ahead to cut that up. Now, after doing so, I'll just go ahead, fold it in again, my fabric into 2, then I refold it again into 2, while making sure I have 7 by 7 inch, okay? I'll just mark it 7 by 7 inch. Then I'll go ahead to cut it. This long piece here altogether is 14 by 7 inch. So I'll just take that little piece that we cut from the front of the short and place it on top. Then I'll go ahead now and cut it up like so. I will cut like this, making sure I take my time, make sure that everything is straight, all the pieces are equal before you go ahead to cut it up. After cutting the pocket, I'm going to move that aside. Remember, my right side were facing each other, okay? The next thing I'll do now is to go ahead and fold it. I'll fold in my fabric right side facing each other again. Then I'll just go ahead to draw a straight line right here. Once I'm done drawing that straight line, I will take my soldier measurement, which is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inch. But because we're working on a sleeveless dress, I will go ahead to minus 1 inch from there. Altogether is 6 inch, okay? Now I will slant it down by 1 inch. Then I'll move down to my armhole deep, which is 7.5 inch. I'll mark it up. Then I'm going to roll a straight line like so. After doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is this 6 inch that I use from here to here, I will mark it up as well here, like this, with a straight line. Then now, next thing I will do is to go ahead to extend this line. I'll go ahead now to mark the length of the top, which is 14 inch, but I'm going to be adding a band of 1.5 inch. Then I'll just draw it up. After marking it up, I'll draw a line. Now I'm going to go ahead now to mark the neck deep, which I'm going to go with 4 inch by 3 3-inch width, all right, like this, 3-inch, 3-inch. Then I'm going to go ahead now, just connect this up like so. You can use your free hand or your French cap. After doing so, I'll just measure whatever I have from here to here and divide it by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.075. I'll go in by 1/2 inch, connect this up here like so. Then I'm going to connect this point as well like this. You can make this part here a little bit small, okay? Now just go ahead, put 1/4 of my balls. I'm going to add allowance there. But remember, this fabric is stretchy. So if you add any allowance, when you are stitching, you have to take all that allowance away. If not, it's going to be bigger, okay? Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead to cut it up. So I went ahead to fold again my fabric right side facing each other. I placed the front piece on top. Then I'll just connect it. For the back neck tip, I'll go in with 1.5 inch, connect it up like this. For the neck width is the same, all right? And then the rest of the stuff is going to be the same. The next thing I'll just do is to go ahead and cut that up. Now I'll go ahead now to cut the waistband. For the band, you will need to fold you need to sew your pants and your top before cutting the band, and then measure whatever you have round. All right, so I've already sewn my top. This one I'm cutting it for the top, which I've sewn it. I've measured round is 30 inch. 30 inch, I'll go ahead to add 1 inch of allowance. So I'll be cutting my band at 17 inch, 2 band. That I will, therefore 17 inch, 1 inch is for the allowance, okay? I'll do the same thing to the pant as well. Cut it up. So I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. If it was helpful, give me a thumbs up and see you on the next video.